Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and it is finally time for the Battlefield 6 Season 1 review. The update came out yesterday, and while I could have just rushed out a quick video going over the basics, I wanted to properly sink my teeth into everything that the update had to offer and get a true feel for everything that changed. And today, we're going to be going over everything that I experienced, the good, the bad, the ugly, the new maps, the new game modes, the new guns, the new everything. So buckle in, grab yourself a drink, it's probably going to be a bit of a longer video. First things first, we have the brand new map, Blackwell Fields, which is probably the biggest point of contention right now for a lot of fans, and for good reason. The map just isn't really that good, and I hate to start the video off here on such a down note, but it's honestly true. Like, in my opinion, Blackwell Fields was a huge letdown for not only myself, but for a ton of players out there given the current state of Battlefield 6. I mean, think about it for a second, man. Going back to the beta, which the beta was pretty fantastic, but the maps in the beta were pretty tiny, right? Lots of fans wanted those larger, more Battlefield-style maps, you know, and they promised we would have those at launch, and while maps like Firestorm and Merrick Valley are certainly larger, they aren't exactly overjoying the entire community or anything like that, right? So then we started to get the teasers for Season 1. Then we had all those content creators out there who were being paid by EA to promote the game or even play the game early, and they claimed that the new maps were pretty great. And then once we actually got to play the maps for ourselves, it was an absolute shit show, man. I mean, you're probably watching this footage right here thinking, well, what's this dude talking about? This looks pretty damn great, right? But that's because gameplay is always deceiving. When somebody's doing really good, it makes the map look pretty damn good. It makes the gun look pretty good, right? And this match right here was a miracle. It was a freaking unicorn. Somehow everything I did just worked and everything went perfectly. But the reality of Blackwell Fields, at least while playing Breakthrough, is a lot more like this, which is just complete anarchy, constant grenades, mortar fire everywhere, smoke and gas and pain and suffering. It's chaotic as all hell, man. And I will say, it is pretty amazing for doing certain challenges, things like, you know, your grenade intercepts if you're playing support, or maybe getting assist with your smoke grenade, or dealing grenade damage with the assault class. Like, for those challenges, this map is pretty fantastic. But once again, at least while playing Breakthrough, it's the ultimate meat grinder map, and I find myself actually playing it because maybe I'm just brain rotted at this point, but the map is so good for doing certain challenges that I keep just going back, regardless of the fact that, yeah, the map really is just kind of a meat grinder. Now, everything I just said only pertains to Breakthrough, and probably Rush. I haven't played Rush on this map. I imagine it's roughly about the same. We gotta talk about Conquest, however, because in Conquest, it's a whole different story entirely. I mean, to say that Blackwell Fields is just a giant wasteland would be absolutely accurate. There's like no cover on this map, man, like virtually anywhere besides maybe at like the top of a hill, you know, peeking over the edge of a hill or something like that. Like, capturing objectives is an absolute chore here, and it's not like taking the objectives is intense or tactical or anything like that. It's basically you just laying down in like the middle of an open field at the foot of a mountain, and at the top of that mountain are like 20 snipers and 2 tanks all shooting down at you. There is no cover on these objectives. Like, every objective has buildings, and most of them just get destroyed, right? So now you have a bunch of rubble around you, and that's your only line of defense, versus all these people just sitting on hills that can see you all the way from their base to your base. You know, there's like no cover on this map really whatsoever. It truly is a sniper's paradise, and a lot of fans gave me backlash for saying the Operation Firestorm really isn't that good here in Battlefield 6, because mostly that map devolves into everybody just waiting on vehicles and sniping. Like, 10 minutes into the game, you know, all the engineers end up switching, all these assault players switch, a lot of support players switch. Eventually, it's just like sniper warfare and vehicles, right? Like, for me personally, not really a huge fan of Operation Firestorm. Well, the same thing is true of Blackwell Fields as well. And don't give me that like, oh, this is a proper Battlefield map. You think it's a proper Battlefield map because you're the guy on top of the mountain just shooting your sniper rifle nonstop, not actually taking objectives, never pulling out your laser designator, never actually pulling out your drone and spotting things. You're just playing sniper shoot 'em up on top of a hill, acting like that's what Battlefield is all about. There are more things to Battlefield than just sniping on top of a mountain, man. Like, being a normal foot soldier on this map and trying to play the objective just does not fly. And speaking of not flying, the aerial vehicles are pretty much a non-factor here as well, with the anti-air vehicles that are available on this map. You might think I'm joking. He's exaggerating. Of course, I see people in jets and helicopters all the time. Did you know that the anti-air on this map can literally spawn kill enemy jets while sitting inside of your own base? Like, they didn't playtest this map really at all whatsoever, and it seems like I'm not the only person that feels this way. Like, somebody like me who just loves Conquest, that's my favorite game mode. I don't want to have to play Rush. I don't want to have to play Breakthrough. I prefer Conquest. Like, that's like the ultimate Battlefield, like, sandbox mode, right? I can't really play it on this map. It just isn't enjoyable. And if we look at Reddit, it seems like a lot of people feel the exact same way. This post right here has about 8,000 upvotes, and the map itself is apparently just so bad for Conquest that it brought Battle Nonsense out of retirement just so he could talk about how mad he is at this map's design. So I don't want to be too doom and gloom here, because the newness factor of the map does have me still custom searching for it each of the past couple of days. You know, the map does look beautiful. Aesthetically, aesthetically wonderful. It's like very different looking than the rest of the maps in the game, which adds that replayability, adds that variety that the game so desperately needs. But I'm just saying, the map itself is pretty disappointing, man. Like, it's all right. I would say it's okay in Breakthrough if you like pure chaos and anarchy, but for Conquest, I'm really not a big fan, man. Next up here, let's go ahead and take a look at some more content that was added to Season 1 that doesn't just pertain to ranting about Blackwell Fields. Like we talked about before, Season 1 is going to be broken up into 3 sections, and yesterday's update was just the first content drop, right? So in a couple of weeks, we're going to get more content, then a few weeks after that, even more content. They're breaking up the season to kind of space everything out, so the first update gave us Blackwell Fields, but we also have a new carbine, a new sniper rifle, some new game modes, and of course, everybody's favorite thing, the Battle Pass. And one thing I would like to say is a lot of those leaked skins that we saw previously don't appear to actually be within the Battle Pass itself. Pretty much everything here is honestly pretty fine looking to me. The weapon blueprints are mostly grounded, the operator skins are pretty down to earth. Like, the most outlandish thing I would say would be like the third sector of the Battle Pass where everything is Irish themed, right? So you're gonna have some clovers on your guns. There is one weapon that has like some plants on it, or you can maybe put some shamrocks on your jet, for example, right? So pretty grounded, relatively speaking. But what they're doing with the Battle Pass is sort of interesting because they're kind of going almost like the Call of Duty Black Cell route by having a premium Battle Pass along with a regular Battle Pass. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So the premium pass is called BF Pro. If you got the Phantom Edition of the game, then you already have this, but what it is it's $25 and it includes everything in the base pass, but it also gives players the ability to host 100 player servers in Portal. It gives them a vehicle radio station. It gives them a few exclusive assignments to unlock things that aren't in the base Battle Pass, though these things are also very grounded, and in my opinion, they're not worth $25 whatsoever. And the Battle Pass is also, interestingly enough, skill-based as compared to time-based like the Call of Duty franchise. How you level up this Battle Pass is by getting XP and, of course, doing your weekly challenges, but that's a pretty controversial change that has a lot of people pretty upset because now your weekly challenges only go towards the Battle Pass. They no longer go towards actually leveling up your player. You still get player XP for doing your dailies, but now all of your weeklies are a way for you to level through the Battle Pass faster, which will help you unlock the new weapons. And for me personally, I got the new carbine, which you have been seeing footage of throughout this video, and yeah, I like it a lot. It feels really good, and maybe I'm the crazy one here, but why is it that all the carbines in this game feel so much better than the assault rifles? Like, maybe I need to give them another chance after the Bloom update that came out with Season 1, but seriously, like, when I use ARs, they feel so weak compared to when I use a carbine, maybe because they kind of bridge that gap between an assault rifle and a submachine gun, but carbines feel infinitely better to me. And it may just be a case of most of the maps, most of the time, just being on the smaller side by Battlefield standards, therefore the so-called hard-hitting assault rifles can't demonstrate their true power at those longer ranges, but I don't know. For me personally, maybe you guys agree, I don't know, but the new carbine does feel really damn good, as do most of the carbines in this game, and the new sniper rifle is apparently also incredibly good, but I don't have it yet because it's locked behind a challenge that I have not yet completed. Now, speaking of that bloom, I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering about that. They said they were going to be adjusting bloom and weapon dispersion and all that stuff. Basically, people were hoping that with Season 1, Battlefield 6 was going to feel better because your bullets would actually go where you're telling them to go, and thanks to Exclusive Ace, he has a whole video on this. I'll put a link to it down there in the description, but to give you a quick rundown of it, basically what happens now after Season 1 is your first 8 or so bullets are going to be a lot tighter and more accurate than they were before the update, and this does change on a gun-by-gun basis, but basically this means that in general, tap firing and burst firing is now much better than before, and even going full auto in those like closer to medium ranges is better now than once was before. And yeah, you can definitely feel the update, you can definitely feel the changes. Like, for me personally, I definitely experienced a lot less of those like, where did my bullets go moments since Season 1 dropped, so yeah, that definitely does feel pretty good. And another big thing, of course, would be visibility, right? Everyone's been talking about visibility so far within Battlefield 6, and for me personally, I really have no idea what these people are talking about. Like, I'm not sure what these guys are seeing. Maybe it's a monitor problem, a television problem, a console problem, or maybe something going on with your graphics card. Maybe it's a skill issue for all I know, because for me personally, I can see everything in this game absolutely perfectly all the time. There's never really been any issues on my end whatsoever, and okay, yeah, I'll stop it there. I mean, there does seem to be a bug in the game now, which apparently happened before Season 1. I don't know, I only got it after the update, but the bug will happen where everything is blacked out besides your HUD. Though I would like to point out that if you watch this footage closely, I got 2 revives off while being completely blind. I am the Stevie Wonder of Battlefield here, so I don't want to hear any excuses from the medics that run past me while I'm laying there on the ground. But if you get that bug right there, you just restart your game, it'll fix it. But when it comes to the actual visibility of Battlefield 6 and whether or not it got better for Season 1, it absolutely did. Like, picture walking out of a dark building into a bright map like Firestorm. It's night and day different, different after Season 1. You're no longer completely blinded anymore, so I suppose the lighting team did a pretty good job with that. And one other thing that I'm also very surprised to say they did a good job with, and I can't believe I'm saying this honestly, but it's the Battle Royale. I actually did give it a chance, and I do want to cover that and a couple of other things to wrap this video up here today. So I'll be the first to admit, I'm not a massive fan of Battle Royale these days. I feel like the game mode is overplayed, I feel like it's overhyped, I feel like it holds back other parts of the game, and I also feel like it's just there because the newer generation can't imagine playing a video game that doesn't have it, right? But I will say, I was pleasantly surprised when I played REDSEC. The map itself might be one of the best looking maps I have ever seen. It is freaking gorgeous, and I don't think anybody can deny that. The gunplay is tight, the movement is about the same as multiplayer, so it's not all cracked out like COD, but it's still helpful to be able to jump and slide your way around cover when you need to. The zone might be the coolest zone in the history of the Battle Royale genre, and the game runs incredibly smooth. And I want to hammer this home here for a second because it's actually kind of crazy. Warzone, as a comparison, runs on 20 hertz servers, right? REDSEC runs at 30 hertz, which scales up to 60 hertz the closer you get to the final circle, and that's pretty insane to me. Like, a AAA developer actually invested into making their servers good. Like, my mind's blown. I didn't think that was a possibility at this day and age. Now, from there, I can't really speak too much about the mode because I only played a few matches just to test it out, because again, I'm not a huge BR fan, but from what I did play, I was pleasantly surprised. I have seen people out there being angry about the tanks that are available in the mode, although tanks are kind of a pain in the ass to get. You have to do specific missions and get yourself a card, then go find yourself like a place where the tanks actually are, unlock the tanks, drive around the tanks, and they're pretty easily countered by people running engineer or finding rockets on the map. You can do that as well. I do think the class roles are interesting, like engineers, for example. They have their repair tools by default, which allows them to open safes, but so far from the outside looking in, it really does seem like a lot of people either love or hate REDSEC right now. If we go over to Steam, the reviews are mostly negative. That looks pretty freaking bad, but most of this doesn't come from the actual game mode itself. It's easy to look at something like this and say, wow, this is terrible, REDSEC is bad, Warzone 1, Call of Duty is king, you know, but if we look at the actual reviews themselves, most of them are just people being mad that the map is so big, but the multiplayer ones are so small, right? They're also mad that the weekly challenges are tied to the game mode. So if you want to progress the battle pass quickly and get the new guns and all that, you're almost forced to play Battle Royale, even if you don't like Battle Royale and you just want to play actual Battlefield. There's also people in there just mad at Battle Royale as a whole, and they don't want to see it in their Battlefield game. I mean, there are some valid criticisms in there to be found for sure, but the general consensus seems to be that the game mode is actually just fine, but people are mad about the state of Battlefield's multiplayer and how they are handling the Battle Pass as well as challenges. Now, in terms of players, the game mode has jumped Battlefield up pretty significantly on Steam. It went from averaging like, 250 to 300,000 players per day to like 400 to 500,000 players per day. And on Twitch, which I honestly don't think matters that much because Twitch is just like a popularity contest to find out what the biggest streamers are playing, but REDSEC has like 118,000 viewers, Battlefield 6 only has 18,000 viewers, which is actually so much less, and then we have Warzone with 13,000 viewers. Twitch, again, honestly, is just a popularity contest, so I wouldn't put too much stock into what we're seeing here, but it does sort of push that narrative that people are talking about the mode, people are hyped for the mode, people are playing the mode, and from what I've been seeing, a lot of people were pleasantly surprised with it, and I'm curious to see where it's going to go in the future. Now, one more thing they add with Season 1 is this new One Life game mode, and it basically pits 2 teams of 4 against each other on a small portion of a map, and it's one life. You can be revived, kind of similar to Battle Royale, and it's first team to either kill off the entire enemy team or capture the objective, which is kind of like a hard point, right? So it's honestly a lot like Gunfight from Call of Duty, though honestly, I really don't think it's that good. Like, I suppose it's cool, to each their own if people want to play a game mode like this, but for me, I mean, there's no voice chat, there's no trash talk. I know this is going to sound COD-brained, but there's no kill cams, there's no round-ending kill cams, it just sort of ends, so to me, it feels kind of dull. Like, do you guys get what I'm saying here? Like, if I want to play a game mode like this, I don't think Battlefield's the game I want to play a game mode like this in, and I would much rather them have, like, a proper search and destroy in its place. I think that would be a lot better of a game mode, but again, it comes down to personal preference. I'm sure some people love this mode, so hey, I'm happy it's there, I'm happy we have options. Now, from there, I think I covered pretty much all the big bullet points for Battlefield 6 Season 1, at least where it sits right now, so I suppose it's time for the ultimate review here, and does Season 1 suck? Well, yeah, kind of. It kind of actually does if you think about it. Like, I don't want to be the one here trying to ruin everybody's fun, but let's quickly run it down. Like, the new map, the general consensus is it's pretty bad. The new guns appear to be pretty good. Battle Royale was a pleasant surprise. Some people like it, some people hate it, some people want nothing to do with it. That's whatever. And if you're just a core Battlefield player, right, the season hasn't really done much so far to improve your experience. And don't get me wrong here, like, bug fixes, like changing gloom and lighting, those aren't the selling point of a season. Those are going to get fixed regardless. We're talking about the actual core content of Season 1, which would include things like new guns, new maps, and things like that, right? So we do know that more things are coming, more maps are coming, more guns, more game modes. Hell, the whole winter event is going to be coming. But the launch of Season 1 so far, for me personally anyway, has felt a bit lackluster. Like, going into it, I was hoping it would just knock everybody's socks off, you know, and I think it would be a whole different conversation if Blackwell Fields was actually a good map, or at least perceived to be a good map by the majority of the community. Right now, it seems like no one's really happy with it. For some of you out there, you might think it's the best map in the world, and more power to you. I'm happy you're enjoying the map. It does look really good. I just don't think it plays overly well. But if you're somebody who just signs into Battlefield 6, you know, and you enjoy yourself some Conquest, maybe you play some Rush or Breakthrough or whatever, all this season has done so far is add a map that a lot of people don't like, and they added in a battle pass. Like, that's pretty much it. And I feel like I'm sounding really doom and gloom here. Like, don't get me wrong, I still really enjoy the game. I play it daily. I'm enjoying my time with it. But from my own personal perspective here, the launch of Season 1 seems to be more about getting skins off the battle pass as compared to having, you know, new and crazy experiences within the actual game itself. I will say the new armored vehicle on Blackwell Fields, I'm not sure, is it on the other maps? I've only played Blackwell Fields since the update, but the new armored vehicle where you have like a gunner on each side and the gunner on the top, that thing is pretty fantastic, I must say. But I feel like the season will properly feel new in a couple of weeks when they add part 2 of Season 1, which brings with it yet another map, more guns, more game modes, more challenges, things like that, you know. Like, at that point, the new content will feel much more like a proper addition to the game, at least in my own personal opinion. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for my review here today. I am very curious to hear what you guys think about Season 1 down there in the comments, so be sure to let me know. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video here today. Be sure to sub to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for listening, and until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.